Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Y'all gotta forgive me, got this here jacket on there. So it made me look like I got more stomach than I got. So forgive me. Wanted to pop in and just have a little chat while I'm driving. First thing I want to tell you that I want you to remember is that life is what you make it. Meaning, I hear a lot of people say there's no balance. There's no balance in life. But I don't subscribe to that. I like to say I have balance in my life and I create balance in my life. And to paint a picture is today I'm headed back to my oldest son's engineering event, but I had to drop him off this morning and then come to my youngest son's game, soccer game. Now going back to the engineering event, then going to my oldest son's soccer game. So that's 4 events by 1 p.m. And then after that, we home and get to spend time together. Then my wife and I have a dinner date with another couple. My oldest son is going to a birthday party. Youngest son will be with his grandma. Then we'll come back home together, put the boys to bed. Then me and my wife have our quality time. Then we go to bed. To me, that is how I define balance. That's what balance is. Time with my wife, time with my kids, time with myself, living my purpose. Me filming this video, even though I'm on the road, I can't look at the camera. I'm driving, but I'm living my purpose. So in a full day, I get to have time to myself, time with God, living my purpose, and time with my family. That is balance. And God did not make a mistake when he gave you 24 hours in a day. So people always say, oh, there's no such thing as balance. Yes, it is. You just got to create the balance, and you got to stop lying about there not being balance. Because when you say there's not balance, then you telling God he made a mistake with the 24 hours that he gave you. Because even God in the Bible say that if you finna be a pastor, you finna be a leader in the church, you need to take care of your home first. They say, how can you lead other people if you can't take care of your home? Your children should be respectful. That's what the Bible say now. I just read it in the book of Timothy, in 1 Timothy. That's what the Bible say. So the Bible teaches us that we gotta have balance, and we ignore that. It's not a lack of time. In the words of Zig Ziglar, I heard Zig say, I don't know who he heard say it. It's not a lack of time, it's a lack of direction. Now, you ain't got no, oh, he doing a U-turn. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why he turning right there. It's not a lack of time, it's a lack of direction. And so this is my thing every day, constantly, you know. We started the, this month, we're doing the first session of the group coaching. So if you don't have a life coach, or if you're not in a group with like-minded people, then look for the link in the description box and join us in the growth club. But as I'm looking for dates to do that, and it'll be different days of the week every month so that different people can make it based on their work schedule. And it'll always be a, you know, smaller size group because not everybody can make the live call. But as I'm looking for that date, I'm looking for a date that it won't be, for days of the week, that it won't be too much strain on my family. I'll say, oh, I could do a Saturday, but we got a few 7-day Adventists and different people who Saturday is their Sabbath. I could say Sunday, that's other people's Sabbath. But a lot of people who go to church on Sunday don't really take it the same as serious as the people who go to church on Saturday, who do nothing on Saturday. Me, I work 7 days a week for the Lord. I'm doing the Lord work every day because that's what Jesus did. And they tried to convict him by working on the Sabbath. And he was like, what you mean? My father made this day. Like, I got lives to save. Like, get out my face, bro. What you talking about? And so that's my approach to it. But God, you know, we have a Sabbath to rest from doing man's work because we work on somebody's job. And so that day is to spend time with God and to rest and recuperate and things of that nature. But when you work for God, then purpose got to be fulfilled every day in some form or another. So that's what I do. And so sometimes it'll be on Saturday, sometimes it'll be on Sunday, sometimes it'll be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll be different days, but I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, okay, I don't want to impede with date night. I don't want to impede with soccer practice. And so I have to put it around there. That's balance. Yes, it is still business and purpose for me, but I also have to make sure that I have balance. So I want to share that with you because there's this thing of, you know, work, just grind, just do this. And then you neglect your kids, you neglect yourself, you neglect your spouse, you neglect something. And that's not healthy, and that's not of God. That's not of God. You need to be able to take care of home. You got to take care of home, as well as taking care of business. Point blank, period. Don't have your business doing good and then let your kids or your family or your household fall to the wayside. And that's what the Lord had to work on me with and convict my spirit. So I want you to understand that this is a constant pursuit of perfection, knowing that we will not ever be perfect, that perfection is not attainable. Oh man, but it hurt. Oh man, I'm like, what's going on? It's not attainable. But the truck done broke down on him, or he ran out of gas. God bless him. See, I would stop, but got to get to my son's event. He look like he got AAA though. And so we got to understand this. Don't get caught up in what the world is saying. And I'm going to tell you now, the other part of this balance is balancing the dream and the job until the dream becomes the job. And don't be afraid of the word job. Don't get caught up in semantics. A lot of time we get caught up in semantics and just tripping over words. There's nothing wrong with the word job. The Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. So don't get caught up on that. But balancing the dream with the job until the dream becomes a job. And what I mean by that is you work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. We'll say 8 because that's the normal. You work 8 hours a day, it's 16 hours left in the day. You only sleep 5 to 6 hours, most people. I'm gonna give you 6 hours. Let's say you sleep 6 hours, it's 10 more hours in the day. So what you doing with them other 10 hours? Because you sleeping now. You sleeping 6 to 8 of them. So you got 8 to 10 other hours in the day. What you doing with it? Now, no, what I said, 16 hours. If you sleep 6, you got 10. If you sleep 8, you got 8. So you got 8 to 10 other hours. That 8 to 10 other hours mean that you spend an hour with your kids, if you got kids. You can spend an hour with a loved one, you got a loved one. You still got 6 to 8 hours left. That's where you focus on your dream. You could spend an hour learning, an hour reading, and you still got 4 to 6 hours left. That's where you could, and that's when you working a job. You got to remember, on Saturday and Sunday, or your 2 days off, whatever days that is, now you got 8 hours each of those days that could be given to your dream, working on your purpose. So when you put this thing together, you literally could work 40, 50 hours a week on your dream. And one thing I'm gonna tell you is that if you're working on that dream diligently, eventually that dream gonna start to yield a return. And you're gonna have some money coming in, and that dream will replace the job eventually. But what happens is we be so drained. That's what your 8 hours of sleep for. We so tired, we so drained from the job that then we let that seep over, and we got bad energy with the kids, and bad energy with our dream. And that's where you got to be replenished by the word of God and through prayer. And when you watching something or listening to something, it need to be something that's fueling your spirit, something that's motivating you and pushing you. And then you got to do what you got to do and realize that it's non-negotiable, that it's a season. It's a season that you balancing the dream with the job until the dream becomes a job. But you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to do that so that you can get off of that job. Then when you get off that job, now you come to a place to where it's like, oh, okay, now I can work 40 hours a week on just my dream. So this is what has to be understood. Come on now. Got a Kia Sport behind me. Look like it's a, who's driving there? It's like, come on now. I don't feel like. This is another form of balance. Now, on the next level of balance, let's go into the relationship. And I'm gonna address the singles. If you're single and you want love, state to God that you want love. Let it be known that you want God, that you want love. Let your mind know that you want love. I am seeking love, and I want to find love, or I want to attract love. It's all the same. Don't get caught up on semantics again. I want to find love. So now you are dressing to meet your spouse. It don't mean you have to dress up. It means that you put together. It means you're taking care of your body. You take care of your mind. You take care of your spirit. And you are in preparation to meet your spouse. You have to have that balance of working on yourself and being ready to meet your spouse. And the reason why I say that is you need that balance, because if you just say, oh, I don't want love, because you're not finding love, because love has not found you, because you don't want to be disappointed every day that you go out and come back and with no love, so you tell yourself, I don't want love. When you do that, now you remove balance from your life, and now you don't have the ability to meet love, to find love, because you've talked yourself out of it. And by talking yourself out of it, now you walking around with a Sour Patch face, and you walking right past your spouse, but you're looking so Sour Patch face, they keep it moving. They don't want to come talk to you because you just looking sad and depressed, and that's because of what you're telling yourself. So that has to be understood. You got to understand that. Now, as you start to process this, now you start to find balance in this area. And you cannot lie to yourself or convince yourself that you do not want something just because you can't obtain it in the moment, or just because you haven't obtained it. You can't say, I don't want this, just because you haven't obtained it. So you got to understand that. And with that understanding, now you can move forward. And you can attract in your life what you're preparing for. You attract what you are, not what you want. When I say that, what I mean is you attract what you become. And when I say attract, I don't mean who walks up to you. I mean who you settle down with. Who you settle down with is a reflection of who you are and where you are. Because if you're here, you're not going to settle for someone who is here. If you left, you ain't going to settle for someone who's right. Not literally, but you know what I mean. You're going to settle down with someone who you feel is on your level. who is a reflection of you. So it's important to know yourself and to understand this about yourself. And as you do that, it help change your life. Y'all gotta forgive me. Give me more water over here. So listen to me now. This is something that's very important because we're not really understanding the work that it takes, the work that has to be put in to get where we got to go. Water tastes a little funny. I don't know. But this right here in every area of your life, it's time to find balance. It's time to find balance. And when it come down to your dream, we're gonna talk about that. So get ready to look for another video on that. Right here, I want you to start believing in balance. Believe in balance. Believe in having it all. Believe in having what you want and need in your life. Believe in that. A lot of people don't. And for the Blessed Business Tribe, and for those of y'all who not in the Blessed Business Tribe, I'm gonna give you a little sample when we're gonna talk about gifts here on the next video that'll be posted later today. God bless you. Make sure you click the link in the description. Join us in the Growth Club, like-minded group, Zoom calls monthly, bonus calls that'll be led by other coaches that I've certified, and also business owners and leaders within the group who teach on a certain subject. We'll have bonus calls. We'll announce the bonus calls. We'll record them. We'll add it to the system when it's done. And so be ready for that. Be mindful of that. If you're a certified coach through my program, you'll be eligible to lead some teachings. If you are in the coach's mastermind, if you're not in the coach's mastermind, then you'll be put on a waiting list as we get other topics that we need to do. But first, going to utilize the coaches that are certified through my program and in the Life Coach Mastermind group that we have, which if you want to sign up for that, that's on TonyGassisAcademy.com as well. You'll see it says Coaches Helping Coaches or something like that. And it's a mastermind group, and look for that. I don't know if there's no payment plan for it. It's just a one-time fee for the year, and that's something we do yearly going forward. But God bless you. We'll talk soon.